Hi folks, Nathan Adlin here with Ask Nathan. You must be watching TFL now because that is the only place where you can find Ask Nathan. Now you may have noticed, by the way, there are a lot of other Ask TFL shows out there. And the reason why is because we're trying our best to be transparent and answer your questions. So we have it for truck, we have it with Roman. We have just about everything covered. So if you have other questions, go to TFL Truck or go to TFL Car or, well, ask them right here at TFL Now, and I will do my best to answer them the week after you asked. Now, this is the brand new 2017 GMC Canyon Denali. It's a mid-sized truck that costs over $47,000, but it's loaded with luxury goodies and whatnot, and this also has that baby Duramax diesel that TFL Truck loves. So stay tuned for that because that's actually going to be used, the Ike Gauntlet, and more importantly, with the Gold Hitch Awards. That, and also there'll be an MPG loop. You're going to love it. All right, let's move on. Now, the first question actually is something that came to me via Twitter, and it was a specific request from a dad whose son is about to drive. And he wanted to know what happened with me and how my dad kind of got me into it. And it's a very interesting story, so I'll quickly tell it, which is my father had me save up from the time I was 14 years old and had a paper out and a few other things, and said, I will match the money that you have when you turn 15, and we'll go to an auction and buy a car, and you'll have 1 year to fix it up and drive it once you're 16. And sure enough, that's exactly what we did. It was a 78 Oldsmobile Omega, or as I like to call it, rolling birth control. It was technically my first car, and it was a piece of junk when I bought it, and by the time I was finished with it, it was absolutely pristine. I'd learned a lot about maintenance, and more importantly, how to tear apart a head and put it back together with the proper gasket, and it never got me laid. No. But I got a Mustang right after that, and that's a whole other story. Okay, let's move on to these other questions. So I do recommend what my dad did, not about the laid part, but the getting a vehicle and having your kid fix it up. It's a great way to learn and respect automobiles. Nathan, please stop saying people's names. It's hard to watch and it's time consuming. If people really care. Sorry. This is from Brian M. Yeah, Brian, no. I'm going to keep saying names. I'm sorry it's time consuming, but some people want to know. And if they put it at the end, sure, great. You know what? I'm just going to take my time. Okay. I read that the new Wrangler will debut at the same time as the new Bronco at the end of 2018, so I'm expecting serious competition, and this comes from Zoltan. No, no. The new Bronco, earliest we're going to see it is sometime in 2019. It's coming out as a 2020 vehicle. The first vehicle amongst the Ford new batch is the Ford Ranger, and that's due out in 2018, late, basically 2019. So, yeah, sorry about that. But they should be competitive. Okay. Oh, a few of you have noticed my leg. All right, let's get this out. Hurt my leg a long, long time ago, and it just takes a while for things to heal. And sometimes things happen. I ripped the bottom of my foot recently, and it's slowly healing. Thank you for noticing. I'm okay, no big deal. And because of that, I'm actually over an inch taller. So now, minus the hair, I'm as tall as Roman. Pretty awesome stuff. All right, here's a question for you, Nathan. Do you foresee Chevy or Ford or both automakers trying to compete with the Challenger all-wheel drive with their Mustang or Camaro? And this is from Normally Guy. No. When you look at a Challenger, and by the way, Andre had a chance to have a very intrepid adventure with a Challenger all-wheel drive all the way over in Maine. And you really got to watch those videos. They're pretty awesome. The way that vehicle is designed is based on a similar platform of the Charger, and the Charger already has an all-wheel drive system available. So they're very similar in setup. They're very similar in terms of their geometry. Now, if you actually looked at a Mustang or Camaro in terms of the amount of space they have in the front versus how much the Challenger has, they're apples and oranges. Totally different vehicles. Camaro and Mustang simply don't have enough space for a regular, basically normal version of what you would consider all-wheel drive system, small transaxle there of some sort, 2 feet power to the front wheels. With that being said, there is a chance that you could make them all-wheel drive if you were to put electric motors up on the front wheels. And we do know that Mustang will eventually have a hybrid version. So I suppose it is possible. Okay, so hope that answers your question. Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me. If I haven't gotten to your questions, please go to next week's and ask it again. I'll do my best to answer it. You can also send those questions directly to me, or you can send them to Ask Nathan, which is the daily post that goes up. I said daily. It's actually a weekly post that goes up every Sunday, and this video will be attached to that as well. You can also send it to me at Twitter. Okay, so plenty of ways to get questions to me, and they will be answered. Not necessarily on camera, but I'll do my best to answer them. One final thing. There was recently a question about meetups, meet and greets. We would love to do them. We would love to do them. Unfortunately, whenever we go to an auto show, which is where we would hope to meet people, it's always on the press days, which are before public days, and we are there just to cover cars, and we work basically all the time. We're the hardest working guys there, I guarantee it. And that also means that we're constantly running around, and we're constantly either on camera or editing. So it means that we don't have the time to meet. Sorry, but Roman and I are talking about a way at some point in time in the near future to meet some of you guys. So we're hoping to make that happen, okay? Hey, thanks for everything. We really appreciate you asking the questions and being part of the TFL clan. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.